Welcome to Vin and Mike, episode 47. What is up, Mike?
Hey, happy Friday. Happy NFL pick day.
We picked in the NFL. Beautiful.
That's right.
Game last night, huh?
Oh, it was so much fun. What a game by those Bears.
Poor Al Michael. He signed up for Thursday Night Football. You know, can't feel too bad for him because he's making a lot of money, but holy cow.
He wants to take a vacation for sure.
I think so. So we have a real special guest here. Mike, why don't you introduce our special guest?
Yeah, pretty special. Now, this is exciting. So if you look on the video, this guy looks a lot like me. We've been told many times. It's because of him I got into the New York Jets. We used to go to games and sit all the way up on the bleachers. And remember, we used to bring in subs and water because the food was so expensive at the stadium. But I always liked those subs. Just been followed the Knicks. We always used to like to watch Knicks games together. I remember a father-son trip that he took me to a Hartford Whalers game. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you're smiling. That was awesome. So I want to introduce my dad. So happy to have you on today. This is pretty cool.
All right. Hey, don't forget the trip to Cleveland. When
you
graduated high school.
Oh, that. How about Baltimore and Camden Yards?
Yeah, Camden Yards. Yeah, we had some nice trips for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
we're happy to have you. You know, I brought you up on our last episode because Mike told me you hit a nice same game parlay there. You know, he was telling me.
Yeah, listen, yeah. I've lost enough to be good at this stuff. You know, I've lost enough. So, as Mike, you know, a little background. I've been a player my whole life, but I've been in these football pools the last, 10, 15 years, and I've won a couple of contests. Last year I came in first where you had to pick every game by the spread. And another one, it's your top 6 games. I finished third, but that one I've won twice. So, you know, it's just I think at the end of the day, it's all important when you're playing those kind of pools. It's all about the numbers. All about getting the right numbers when you're playing. That's my only advice here. Okay.
Hey, you know, it's good advice. So, but let me get to some of our quick intro stuff here. Vin and Mike is brought to you by Viggy Bets. If you go to Twitter or Instagram right now at Viggy Bets, send him a direct message that you listen to Vin and Mike, and he'll hook you up with his handicapping, which is a $9.99 a month subscription fee. We're also on the Pigskin Podcast Network. We're out in KKFI in Kansas City. And then, of course, you can always follow Vin and Mike at vinandmikepodcast.com, where you can get all our shows, all our latest YouTube videos, our sponsors, and everything else. So it's all there. So, all right, Mike, we are here. We are in week 6. We have our picks. I got my top 3. I don't know how many Big Steve has. How many you got there, Big Steve?
Just a couple.
You got a couple.
I'll give you 2. I don't want to.
Okay. Mike, how many you got?
Yeah. So I'm going to start with my team, the New York Jets.
Go ahead.
I know we're having our Packers guys on next week on Monday, which is going to be an exciting show, by the way. But you know, the Packers defense is not improving, and the Jets team is improving. You saw Zach Wilson last week come into his own. The running game was working. Breece Hall was fantastic. He was throwing on first down. The confidence was there. And put aside that Miami had a second or third string quarterback, it's just the way that the Jets played. One thing that I really noticed was the limited mistakes, no stupid penalties. I know it's going to be a difficult game after the Packers lost against the Giants. They're coming home to Lambeau. They have a really loyal fan base. It's not going to be easy to play, but I think 7.5 is a large number, and I think the Jets keep this game close. I think they're going to play hard. If they could keep it within 7 points within the first half, I think it's going to stay close that way. So I like the Jets plus 7.5. And of course, as a fan, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line because that's what I did last time and it worked for me. And I'm hoping they continue their success. So that's my first pick.
You like that little extra half a point there. Also,
half a point really helps.
I think a lot of people like seeing 7.5 in that game, especially the way the Packers are playing. So I'll give you one of my big games. This is my number one pick for this week. I like the Chargers minus 5.5 at home against the Broncos. I don't like this Denver team at all. I don't like the way Russell Wilson's playing, especially he has the injured shoulder. They just seem like they can't score. The Chargers have a high-flying offense. Keenan Allen might be back. It's a Monday night game. It's one of those games where I just feel that Herbert's going to come out and do his thing and take this game. I like Chargers minus 5.5 this week. Okay, Steve, you can give us one. Let's hear one.
Well, I happen to agree with you, the Chargers. I just want to add a little something that I saw this week. There was this stat. This is only there's only been a couple of teams that have come from London back to play the following week that didn't have a bye, and it's Green Bay and it's the Giants. And it said basically that going into the last quarter of those games that they played, that when they came back, they either were tied or down. And the other thing was, if you guys are betting totals, they say the overs in those games were like 6-1. Just something you may want to take a look at. I happen to like the Ravens anyway. The Ravens also, just a little angle. They're a very good bet in the first quarter. I think they're 5-0 covering the spread in the first quarter this year. For degenerates who like the best first quarter bets. So yes. All right. I may take a little crack with that. You want me to give you one more game?
Sure. Go ahead. Do one more. Yeah.
One more was the the Jaguars.
Even though they sucked last week?
Correct.
All right.
There you go.
They're playing the Colts, right?
Correct.
Got it. So we like the Jaguars, and he likes the Ravens.
The trend came up good on him against the Colts, and it's a division game. And division games always come up crazy anyway. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
I like that London tidbit, because traditionally teams come back from London and they do go on the bye, and they switched it this year. So that's a very good tidbit to use. I like that, especially again the Jets plus 7.5. I think that's that half a point really is just big. A lot of people are gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes down to 7 by Sunday.
I think I've seen 7 on FanDuel, to be honest. And everybody's going to be jumping on Green Bay and teasers and stuff like that because they're saying Aaron Rodgers is all bent out that they lost last week. So I lean Jets a little bit. I tend to agree with Michael with the Jets, even though I was against the Jets last week and it cost me.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm glad you're on board.
Yes.
My next one is actually an under bet in the first half, and that's the Steelers and Buccaneers. Under 23 in the first half. We know the last game the Steelers were dismantled by Buffalo. Kenny Pickett, to me, is just not what it takes. And Tampa Bay's offense has not been in sync. I do think they pick it up potentially in the second half, but I think this game starts very slow, and everything seems very difficult for the Bucs at the moment. I do think Brady will eventually get his stride. I just don't think it's this game against this team. I think it's going to move pretty slowly against the Steelers defense because they were so embarrassed last game that I think they're coming home. And Tomlin, like I said, I still have faith in him to keep his team at least somewhat competitive, but I do think this stays low scoring, and I like the low scoring first half, under 23.
Under 23. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Pittsburgh doesn't seem like they've figured anything out right now, and with a rookie quarterback, it could probably be 21-0 at the half, Tampa, and you'll hit. Right?
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. I like one of the big games this week. Yeah, Chiefs Bills. I like the Chiefs plus 2.5 at home. They seem to still have the Bills number. I like the way that Mahomes has been playing this year with Kelsey and all that. I didn't like the way the Bills played on the road so far this season. Going down to Miami, didn't play a great game. Went to Baltimore, almost lost that game. I know Josh Allen's going to be all fired up to try to finally beat the Chiefs, but I almost feel like, this is like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady kind of thing, where you think, Peyton Manning always had the better team, would go play New England and lose. And I just have a feeling the Bills might be the better team or look the better team, but for some reason going into Kansas City, plus 2.5, I just like the Chiefs and the way Mahomes has been playing right now. So I like that one. Let's take a quick commercial here. Let's get our DraftKings sponsorship out of the way. So the NFL action is in full swing at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can just bet $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings with the DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. As we said early in the show, Big Steve there hit his same-game parlay last week, so, you can go on there and do the same thing he did with the step-ups, To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped-up same-game parlays once per game all season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN to get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code TPPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply, and see show notes for details. So, yes, Mike.
I was just thinking, I'm looking at this divisional game, the Eagles-Cowboys, which will be some game. Because you got three. Yeah. But I think this one, everything's been fascinating about Cooper Rush and his start. And the I thought, what Anthony said last week against the Cardinals, giving them a hard time. I think Dallas comes in. They're going to make it a very close game. The spread is actually +6 for Dallas. I think that's a very favorable spread for them. I think they could lose by 4, maybe 3, or potentially, win the game. I think it's a coin flip, especially the way they've been playing.
What I heard which was interesting, is that the handicappers looking at Philadelphia for the rest of the season have already said, based on their 5-0 record and who they're playing, that they're favorited right now in every single game except potentially the second Dallas game in Dallas, because Dak will be back. So that might be the only game in the rest of their schedule where they're not going to be the favorite, which is kind of interesting. They've already projected that out. But they, I think we hit it pretty much on the head last week, that +5.5 going out to Arizona. We really like that. And I see what you're saying with Dallas coming in +6. I just think everyone is on this Philly high right now, especially they haven't not had the lead in the second half and all the stuff that comes along with that. But, we still got to play the games, right? Like we always say that. You got to play the games.
Dad, any thoughts on that game? Dallas Eagles?
I also liked Arizona last week. I thought they would backdoor the game, and they did. Philadelphia's been burning me most of the year. I think I like the total to be low scoring. I think if you like the Cowboys, I think you really have to believe the defense is going to keep it close. So for me, I would be betting under the total in that game.
Vinny, the Seattle Arizona game. I know Seattle's been all over the place for you. What do you think in this Cardinals Seahawks game?
I don't know. Geno Smith has been, the Geno Smith that the Jets thought they were getting. All of a sudden he's just like the second coming of I don't know who. He's been really good. I don't know. It's just such a tough game because I'm not sure which Geno Smith shows up. Is it the Geno Smith that's, we've seen all these years, or is it this new, fresh Geno that's been able to really get the ball to lock in and Metcalf and doing all the things? And at the same time, Kyler Murray, sometimes he looks like he's going to be an MVP, and then the next week or even the next series, he looks like he's not even supposed to be an NFL quarterback. So it's just one of those games up and down. What's the spread on it, Mike, right now?
I will tell you. I think it was. Hold on 1 second. It is +3 Seahawks.
+3. I think I would take the 3. I think I'll take the +3. I might totally kill myself there, but I'm gonna trust in Gino another week.
Well, yeah. Vinny, I got to tell you real quick.
Yeah,
Arizona comes up very big on the trends against Seattle. They seem to do very well. I'm going the other way in that game, but Geno Smith has made me nuts this year. I hated him when he played for half the other teams, and I'm shocked he's playing as well as he has. But that's I don't know. He's playing great.
He really is.
Last week he was amazing. Some of those passes, he really was.
Yeah. We were saying on last week's show, who would have thought he'd been playing better than Russell Wilson right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. Yeah, to me, like when Geno Smith, when he played for the Jets, it was an automatic underbet. Totals. Now he's firing touchdowns left and right. So I don't know.
Yeah, the other game that I'm really interested in, and I'm leaning towards the Patriots on this one, is the Patriots-Browns. Patriots will be without Damian Harris, and the Patriots last week against the Lions, top offensive scoring team, they were able to shut them out. Belichick. Does that trend continue? What do you think, Dad?
I think so. I believe in Belichick. I think he's the greatest thing that ever coached in football. And I just real quick, I want to talk about Zappe, the quarterback. I mean, I was on him every week at Western Kentucky to the over. He was a phenomenal quarterback. And I think Belichick may have found another diamond in the rough. I think this kid could be the real deal. That's just my opinion.
Oh, if he found another Tom Brady, everyone in Jetland is really going to be upset.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I happen to lean towards New England as well. They still have Ramondre Stevenson, to run the ball. Even though they lose Damian Harris this week, they have a really good balanced team. They really impressed me last week. I wasn't sure what New England team is starting to show up, but in typical Belichick fashion, it takes a good month, maybe 6 weeks for him to really feel out his team and get everyone in the right spots and how they're going to do things. And I think they're in those spots now, and I think that's where they're going to start moving, the rest of the season. One of the ones I really like, Mike, I like the Rams minus 10.5 this week. I know it's a really big number. It's a really big number, but Carolina's going in there with PJ Walker. They're going in there with a new head coach. They're PJ Walker is basically their third string quarterback because your man Sam was supposed to be the backup. He's still hurt. So, I think the Rams need this game desperately as well because they just haven't been playing up to par at all. I think it's one of those games where Matt Stafford could have a monster game. Cooper Kupp will have one of those 10 catch kind of games, and I think they're just gonna really give a beat down on Carolina. So I like that one.
Yeah, you're just wondering when Stafford and Brady just really make their marks and just get into their zone, right? So what game is that going to be? It could easily be these games this week. So
yeah. I mean, the thing with the Rams is their offensive line has been terrible. They haven't really run the ball. What they already did this week is they basically benched Cam Akers. They said he's not playing this week at all. So Darrell Henderson's going to run the ball. I think they're going to try to give him the ball 20, 25 times, in this game. Try to take advantage of that. Take advantage of being at home, playing, East Coast team, third string quarterback, like I said, new head coach, the whole thing. It's just a little, you get a little worried sometimes because sometimes a new head coach gives team a little life like the first game. But I just think they're just too far behind, and then traveling out west, I think that's why I like the Rams a lot in that game too.
Yeah. Dad, we asked this question. Vinny started a segment. If you were to look at this week 6, your Super Bowl teams right now, who are they?
The Bills for sure. I mean, that's a no. I mean, no mystery there. NFC is wide open. Do the Rams have time to turn it around? Yeah, most likely. I think the Midwest division, whatever they're called, Green Bay. I think they're very overrated this year. Every team is awful, so I don't think anybody from there is getting in. Maybe the 49ers, if their defense keeps playing. I don't know. I mean, I personally, I don't see the Eagles, but maybe I'm just, I have blinders on. I'm thinking Rams or San Francisco.
Yeah.
Mike, who are you feeling?
I'm still, I agree with my dad a little bit, but I still think the Eagles, I got to see if they're still for real. I mean, they've been so impressive, right? Until I start seeing the Rams playing better, it is the wild, wild west in the NFC. But I still like the Eagles, and I like the Bills or Kansas City. And I really want to see this matchup so interesting to me because I want to see the trend here, how these two play against each other, because I could easily see Mahomes doing it, but I think the Bills are just on a different level, so we'll have to see how they play against each other.
Yeah.
Makes for a great game for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always like to quote Parcells all the time, right? You are what your record says you are, and the Eagles are still 5-0, so I'll have to still take them as the NFC representative. And I'm still going to say the Bills, but I think if the winner of this game this week, Bills-Chiefs, is going to be the one who's going to end up representing the AFC. And the only reason is I think seeding is going to become a major factor off of this game because you get that one-game lead, and then if you're tied towards the end of the season, you have the advantage in the head-to-head. So I think that's going to be a big factor in seeding and then where you end up playing potentially an AFC championship game. I think these two teams are on a collision course for a lot of years. Like I said, similar to Brady and Peyton Manning, where they played a lot all the time, a lot in the playoffs, and I expect Mahomes and Allen, to be there for a long time playing each other. But right now, still Bills, Eagles as well for me. All right. Anything else, Mike? Any other games, tidbits?
No, I think the Yankee game right now as we speak,
yeah.
tied right now.
2-2?
I think it's 2-2 right now. So
can we get a 3-run homer?
Right. Vinny has the over in that game for the start of his baseball parlay. You don't bet baseball, do you, Dad?
No. That's not pass.
That's something.
Just football. If I'm bored, maybe a little basketball, but football.
Football, as always.
Yeah, I think that's most people, right? They wait for September to roll in because it's the most fun time of year, especially around this part of the country where sometimes you're just stuck in your house because it's so cold outside. So now with all the sports books right in your hands, right in your house, it makes things a lot better. All right. That was Big Steve with us with a few of his picks. Mike's dad.
Hopefully they'll be winners and you'll have me back.
That's right. If they win,
nice seeing you guys.
No, it was good. It's good that you came on.
We appreciate it. It was a good time. We do this show usually towards right before Sunday every week. So if you're around, let Mike know, and we're happy to have you on anytime. So
all right.
All right,
it, guys. Thanks again.
You got it. All right, everyone. Have a great day,
everybody.
See you.